up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and you're watching the Red Cup Podcast, where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Mika, and we're back for another Red Cup Talks because this is where truth, pop culture, and politics meet. What's going on, everybody? Y'all are funny talking about let's go. It just hit the button. And I have to wait for the internet connection to come back in. Let me know if I stagger today, you guys, because the internet is wilding where I am. But it's Wednesday. What's going on, you guys? What's up, Brian? What's up, loud and clear? What's up, the genuine CEO? What's up, True Patriot? What's up, Donna? What's up? What's up, Sugar Shane? What's up, your car? Yeah, you guys. What's up, Frankie? He folded. What's up, Tyrone? What's going on, you guys? What's up, Lord Republic? What's going on, Lido? What's up? You guys are in here early. Yeah, he folded. He folded. Now, you know, we just talked about all of this on, what, Monday? I thought he was going to hold out longer than that. Oh, my gosh. I thought I was going to have to wait at least maybe like a week or so before I had to do another Stephen A. thumbnail. I swear to goodness. What's up, agency? How are you? Yeah, what's up, Charlie? Yeah, I thought I was going to have to do, something else. And then here comes Stephen A. I said, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. Absolutely not. What's up, Uncle Ruckus' nephew? I'm Ruckus's nephew. Lord jeez. That name gets me every time. Yeah, you guys. So we're going to be talking about that, okay? We're going to be talking about ICE, how they were out there and on Canal Street, which I think is awesome, okay? Because if you guys know Canal Street, you know. We're going to be talking about that. We're also going to talk about something that kind of got debunked. So we're going to get into that. That, is a part of ICE as well, but it has to do with a young man. We're going to talk about the snap and the shutdown and who's for it, who's not. I mean, we're going to talk about all of that. But when I tell you, I was just so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I was absolutely disappointed. What's up, Nick J? What's up, Quick Fix? Yeah, I was so disappointed. George, what's up? Ratchet Crockett got the juice. Absolutely, she got the juice because there's no way these people should have voted like this. Absolutely not. All right, you guys. So before we get into our main topics, we're going to get into our shots. We're going to pour it up a little bit. I want to get into two main stories. Well, two short stories. Sorry. Two short stories. One, I think, brings a little context to the whole Epstein thing, an Epstein case. And then I want to get into LA, okay, which is always ratchet and something's always going on there. So we're going to get into that before we get into our main topics. What's up, Alicia? How are you? What's up, MJ and Kobe? MJ and Kobe, Lord. I see you guys up in here. All right. So let's go ahead and get into these shots real quick, all right? Let's start with Virginia, okay? The lady's name is Virginia. Now, she's no longer living, but she was an Epstein. She was the main one suing Jeffrey Epstein and Prince Andrew. And if you guys don't know, Prince Andrew had to step down, okay? He is no longer holding the crown. Him and I guess whoever the lady that he married, because I don't keep up with the Brits, okay? But whoever the lady is that he married also had to give up her title. So it's a whole big mess, but we're going to get into it. What's going on, Gary? What's going on, Shadow Dragon? I see you guys. What's going on, Ian? Let's go ahead and get into this, you guys, because this is a mess. Now, y'all know that the Democrats have been saying that, Donald Trump isn't releasing the Epstein files all because, he's on the files. He's on the files. So that's why he's not releasing it, okay? Well, here is Miss Virginia, okay? Virginia Giuffre, who wrote a book. And again, she's no longer here. But it's funny that they did all of that. And not only did a group of Epstein survivors say that they never saw Donald Trump, Miss Virginia, actually, before she was, unalived, by supposedly self-deletion. Before she was unalived by self-deletion, she decided that, she was in support of Trump. So I want to get into that a little bit because her book just came out. Here we go.
Did she mention President Trump at all in your discussions?
Oh, she absolutely did. I was in Australia in October, a month before, weeks before the presidential election. She was a huge Trump fan. Two reasons for that. One, she had met Trump on numerous occasions because she worked at Mar-a-Lago Spa in Florida, which he owns. And her father also worked there and knew Trump pretty well. So she was introduced to Trump. He was kind to her. The second reason she wanted Trump to be president was because he campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. And she was excited about that. So yes, we talked about Trump a lot.
As a crusader to release the Epstein files, in that sense.
She was very excited that he had made that one of the main planks of his campaign. And she felt validated by it.
But she never talked about him in any sense that he was involved in any of this?
No. No, he was not, as far as she knew, and again, she was there for 2+ years. But as far as she knew, he was not involved in the ring of trafficking that Epstein was working.
They are mad. This woman's book has come out and she's naming all types of people. She's talking about, her experience, all of that. And Donald Trump is not there. Okay. The only time she talks about Donald Trump is when she talks about working at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. And how she got to work at Mar-a-Lago underage was because her father worked at Mar-a-Lago. Okay. So therefore, all of this nonsense that they're talking about, I don't get it. I really don't. And I don't know how many times they have to tell the Democrats that Donald Trump, yes, indeed, knew Jeffrey Epstein, but was not on that island. I don't know what else to tell them. Okay. Is Donald Trump a saint? Absolutely not. Okay. Does Donald Trump like women? Absolutely. All right. But to try to pin something on somebody when multiple victims have told you no is just disgusting. Okay. So shout out to Virginia and rest in peace to Virginia, because that's just absolutely nasty and sad. All right, you guys. So let me know what you think about that. So now I want to get into this other short story really, really, really quick. And this one here is is stupid. Because it's about literally, if you guys don't know, they're having a whole investigation in LA.
All right, tonight, stunning new details in what.
And the investigation in LA is the fact that LA, besides being ran by Gavin Newsom, and besides having all this corruption, okay, that they accuse Donald Trump of, they have an investigation going on about fraud for the homeless, the unhoused. Let's get into that, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what I think about it. And you guys get down in the comments in the chat and let me know what you think about it. Here we go.
All right, tonight, stunning new details in what happened to almost $26 million in taxpayer money that was supposed to be used to build new housing for the homeless. CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite live in Thousand Oaks to show us what we've uncovered. Tom?
And good evening to you, Juan. So many people might remember earlier this week, the acting U.S. attorney announced charges in his ongoing audit and investigation of where taxpayer money is going in terms of the homeless crisis. Well, we've learned new details tonight that are pretty disturbing. In fact, this hotel is at the center of it. The guy that was supposed to spend about 20-something million on this motel to rehab it, to turn it into homeless housing, well, instead of using it for that, as you can see, it's still abandoned, he used it for private jet flights and for things like VIP tickets to Coachella.
Shocker.
This shuttered, dilapidated motel in Thousand Oaks was supposed to be transformed into permanent housing for the homeless. It was part of Governor Newsom's signature program called Project Home Key, turning old motels across the state into supportive housing for the homeless. But this project, like many others, was never completed. So what happened? Where did the money go?
Where'd it
U.S.
go?
Attorney Bill Asaley this week announced charges in connection with this project, claiming the funds were stolen.
Federal agents arrested Cody Holmes, a 31-year-old Beverly Hills resident and the former CFO of Shangri-La Industries. Our investigation has showed that at least $2.2 million was diverted to pay Mr. Holmes' American Express bill.
Not the
Stolen,
American
the feds
Express.
say, by Holmes to fund a lavish lifestyle. According to a civil complaint against Holmes, he spent $53,000 for VIP tickets to Coachella, $43,000 for a flight on a private jet, $111,000 on an Hermes crocodile bag, $5,000 monthly for a Ferrari Portofino lease, $35,000 on a diamond-encrusted Audemars Piguet watch.
A
There were
Piguet?
also payments for expensive properties in Beverly Hills, a student loan payment, and more. In all, his company
I know that's right. He done paid off those student loans. Child, they done took the people's money and paid off his student loans, okay? He got a PK Audemars. He got a Ferrari. He live in Beverly Hills. He flying on private jets. He watching Taylor Swift and them at Coachella, VIP, okay? And the unhoused is still unhoused. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. Anything that Gavin Newsom, okay, Gavin Newscum, okay, anything that he touches or anything that he's in charge of, this is what happens. I assure you, this is what happens. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, yeah, y'all. He was living his best life. He was living his absolute best life, okay? All right. He was up there, okay, because I think Taylor Swift was at this last Coachella, okay? But regardless, whoever was there, he was VIP. He was backstage. All right. He had front row backstage. He got to do the meet and greets, all that good stuff. And the man is 31. So you know he's still young and he balling out of control. This is absolutely ridiculous. Makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. But this is what a lot of the Democratic spending does. Okay, they'll say, well, we put $22 million into, fighting homelessness. Where? In Brad's pocket? Because that's where it went, okay? That's where it went. The white liberals will always tell you that they're doing all of this magnificent stuff and they never can come up with the receipts. Never.
received $26 million to rehab this motel, and it appears almost nothing was done.
Even though
Almost
the
nothing.
developer received all the money from the state, the developer did not complete the construction.
Shangri-La got over $100 million in state
Right.
contracts to convert 7 motels across California. Only 2 were ever completed. In 2024, Holmes's boss filed that civil lawsuit against him for
Good.
defrauding the company, which is now in bankruptcy. Federal prosecutors say California spent $24 billion in tax money on the homeless crisis, and they are just beginning to audit the programs and promise more charges if they find more fraud.
This
This is absolutely ridiculous. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know, what do you think about these two stories? Because I think it's absolutely appalling. All right. Because Gavin Newsom has spent what, 24 billion? And have you guys seen it? LA? LA is horrible. Have you seen it? It looks terrible. There's it's poop everywhere. Okay. The Walk of Fame doesn't look the same. There's nowhere to go. The beaches are nasty. I'm just like, what are you spending 24 billion on? Okay, other than the 10 million that keeps the jail fresh in Gavin Newsom's hair, what are you spending the millions on? I don't understand, let alone 24 billion. It's absolutely appalling. Absolutely. So you guys, you let me know what you think about that, because I just thought that was absolute trash. I really did. I can't I can't get behind that. And then let me know what you think about Miss Virginia, okay, who is unfortunately deceased, and she has released her memoir, okay, letting everybody know, what happened to her during this time with Jeffrey Epstein. It's very sad. It's very sad. I could go down a rabbit hole on it, but I'm not. But you know what I think. So you guys get down in the comments and in the chat and let me know what you think about that. What? He did what? Newsom just looks clean. He thinks he's fine. He thinks he's sexy. That man thinks he's it. He be doing all of this and his shirt be all open. I'm like, sir, you are not 25. Like, who told you that you was fine like that? I'm serious. Like, he thinks he's it. I'm telling you, he thinks he's it. But anywho, so you guys, I want to move on to one of our first topics here, okay? So I want to move on to, yeah, he does. He thinks he's fine. He's absolutely thinking he's fine. I want to move on to the SNAP benefits, okay? I am so sick of hearing about these SNAP benefits. All right, I have been doing stories on SNAP since earlier this year because I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, okay? I knew what was going to happen. Now, I didn't know about, I didn't think a shutdown was going to happen, but I knew the whole SNAP thing was going to happen, all right? And the reason why I knew that was because Donald Trump is about saving us some money, okay? Or at least trying to save us some money so we can divert it to go somewhere else. It's so many programs when you look at it. I'm like, oh my God. I cannot believe that it is this many programs out here for everything. I'm like, that's why I spend so much money every year. Literally. Oh, that's why y'all spend so much money. But every year, the taxes go up, especially in, Democratic-led states, all right? But everybody's been complaining about these SNAP benefits. So I want to get into that. And I want to get into the complainers because, it's so many of them that I couldn't just fit them all in. So let's get into all the complainers at one time. Here we go.
Everybody going around saying that motherfuckers can't get with the cart.
Turkey on my plate. Ham, mashed potatoes, greens, dressing. It's for all people. I'm not working for nobody. Get the fuck out of here. This is what American taxpayers work for. They work for me. They gotta help me keep my fucking
That's what they said. It was so many. I swear to goodness, it was so many. This girl right here, though, this one right here, she was hilarious. All right. But it's funny, but it's not funny because a lot of these people think they're entitled to this. Now, I understand, there are people that fall short. They're trying, right? They have jobs, it just doesn't meet. So this is a supplement. But some people are literally out here with $3,000, okay? Just buying up Walmart. They don't even look at the price. They just throw it in the bag. They just throw it in the bag because they don't have to look at the prices. All right. But all of these people that you see on the screen were complaining about their SNAP. All right. So I want to get into a few that complained, and they complained about the same things, but they went into a little more detail versus just yelling and screaming, I guess. Here is one lady talking about her SNAP benefits. Okay. Here we go.
You gotta walk smooth out the door. Just take them. I don't care. I support you. I support that message, and I'm gonna mind my business. That's what I'm gonna do. If I see somebody walking out with a cart full of groceries that I know was unpaid, like, I'm minding my business because so what? So what? They're taking away food from y'all, and I see a lot of people making videos and in the comments saying, well, that's not the solution. What is the solution then? Because it's either take that or let your kids starve. Like, I don't see what's going on right now is just pure evil. They do not care if y'all eat. So why should we care about the money that's going into those corporations? That's all I'm saying. Like, we want to do something just has to be done. Like, I don't know what the solution is, but I will say, if you gotta take that food, go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take it. Like, the more people that do it, they'll get the picture, because no mother should have to pay $60 for one can of baby formula. That's ridiculous. Like, it wasn't even that much when my tube was coming up, and it was expensive then. Now it's ridiculous. And I suggest that y'all do the same as far as minding your business. Like, if you see somebody walking out, just turn and look the other way. Like, ain't no time. It's not time to be trying to play Captain Save America, trying to do the right thing, trying to stand up. Like, no. Let them people walk out. And then you might want to do the same thing too. That's all I'm saying. So, mind your business.
You heard her. Mind your business.
Everybody going around saying that motherfuckers ain't getting food stamp next month. Mind you, bitch, I'm on food stamp. Let me tell you this right now. Donald J. Trump, I don't know what the fuck you got going on in that fucking house of yours, but bitch, you better fix it. Just because your ass going through some shit don't mean you gotta take it out on everybody else, bitch. Fix this shit right now. Let me not get my food stamps. Let me not get my food stamps. I'm going back to stealing. I don't care. If you leave your car unlocked in the middle of the night, lock it, bitch. Because if I don't get no food stamps, best believe me and mine's gonna eat regardless.
All that energy you're putting into robbing and stealing and thievery, you could have went and got a job. You absolutely could have went and got a job. Okay? You could have got a couple part-times. I don't understand. I don't understand. All right? Let Prince here tell it, he got to eat. Him and his got to eat. Like, what? I don't understand. I'm too sassy. Exactly, DJ Ace. Too sassy.
Guys, I'm just finding out there's no EBT next month. My heart. There's no EBT next month. What is this pumpkin man doing, bro? Why the fuck we gotta starve on Thanksgiving? Are you dead ass, pumpkin man? It's like, it's just like you gotta like. Why the fuck there's no EBT next month? Why the fuck November though? It couldn't be January, Feb, March.
I said
why the fuck
March.
does it have to be November?
November.
Why November? No. Why the fuck am I supposed to afford groceries?
Oh, por favor.
Why the fuck am I supposed to afford groceries if we gotta suffer on Thanksgiving too? We were supposed to eat better today. Now we gotta starve today.
But a touch. Yeah. So you guys, you see what is going on here, okay? People are freaking out, wilding out, and then people are condoning others who may not have to go in and steal, okay? Which may put them in a worse, predicament and put them in jail, okay? Because if you end up stealing over the threshold, you're going to jail. That's exactly what's going to happen, all right? And then you have, a felony and all types of other things that, you cannot get food stamps or SNAP, whatever you want to call it. You cannot get that with a felony. So while these people are telling you to do whatever, just know a lot of these programs you cannot get if you have been convicted of a felony. Idiots. Absolutely. They just listen to anybody. So anyway, now this is all because of the shutdown. And I want to let you guys know that the Democrats don't see this ending no time soon because they're using it as leverage. Okay. But one Democrat who, of course, I don't agree with pretty much nothing on, he has been very level-headed lately. Okay. I want you guys to get into John Fetterman. Okay. Now, Fetterman, of course, isn't my cup of tea, but these past couple of months, he's been the only, maybe one or two others that, actually speak logically as a Democrat, okay? Or don't mind to try to come to the middle to do something for their constituents, not just the Democrats, not just the people that voted for them, but for everybody. Because when you're a senator or when you're a representative, you represent everybody. I want you to get into what CNN, tried to do with John here. Here we go.
As I said, you've been voting. You've been one of 3 Democrats or independents to vote along with Republicans to open the government. And when you cast one of the earlier votes, I spoke to Pennsylvania Democratic Congressman Brendan Boyle about your vote. This is what he told me. Listen.
Well, unfortunately at this point, I'm no longer surprised by anything John Fetterman does. Let's not forget he was the only Democrat right after the election to immediately fly to Mar-a-Lago and kiss the ring. And he has acted accordingly over the last year in much the same way.
What do you say to Democrats like Brendan Boyle?
Well, my real problem with Congressman Boyle is that he likes the Eagles more than the Steelers.
Sure.
I'm a full Steelers guy, and he's entitled to his other kinds of these opinions, including being on the wrong side of a Wawa guy, Eagles, and the Steelers.
Yeah, well, look, Brendan Boyle, Axios has reported there are some Democrats who may run against you in a Democratic primary. Well, how do you feel about challenges from within your own party?
I really could care less about a race that's years away. I'm only primarily concerned about the 2 million Pennsylvanians that depend on SNAP to feed themselves and their families. I'm absolutely worried about paying the military and Capitol Police and opening our government open. And that's what I'm really concerned about.
And so that is code for I don't really give a you know what. Okay. I'm worried about the people in my state. All right. That's why he gave that answer in the beginning, trying to brush CNN off. But CNN is messy. Okay. And they know Fetterman has a bit of a conservative appeal. All right. He's not, a conservative cup of tea, but he has a conservative appeal. And that's because Pennsylvania has a lot of conservatives. Okay. And John Fetterman said he grew up in a conservative household. A lot of his families are Republicans. Okay. I think he said he's the only Democrat in his family. So it is understandable. All right. So that wasn't the only thing Mr. Fetterman had to say. I want to get into John Fetterman talking to Fox about filibustering the just filibustering. So we can go ahead and open, the government and stop playing and give people their money. Because I'm telling you right now, if these TSA agents and agents and everybody else don't get their money, I don't see people coming to work. I don't see people doing anything, honestly. So I want to get into that really quick. Here we go.
Your Republican colleagues have proposed nuking the filibuster to force the government to reopen. What do you?
Yeah, of course. Carve it out for that, absolutely. We ran on that. We ran on killing the filibuster, and now we love it. It's like carve it out so we can move on.
Your Republican colleagues have proposed nuking the filibuster to force the government to reopen. What do you?
Yeah, of course. Carve it out for that, absolutely. We ran on that. We ran on killing the filibuster, and now we love it.
Absolutely. When the Democrats wanted to get rid of the filibuster, it was fine. And now they want to use it, right? And this is what, Donald Trump was talking about with Obama, okay? Obama was going through the same thing that Trump is going through, and he told the Republicans not to do this because you hold the American people hostage, right? And the Republicans came to the table and ultimately, gave Obama and the Democrats whatever they wanted. However, the Republicans are at least saying, hey, here's a clean CR. Let's continue to fund the government. And then we'll go back and forth and yell in the chambers and do absolutely nothing like they've been doing, about everything else. The Democrats don't want to do it. All right. So they're talking about, just pretty much, getting rid of it. That way they can go ahead and just open the government, because they need at least 7 Democrats to be on their team. I think they have Fetterman and like maybe one other or 2 others on the Democratic side, but they don't have many. So with that being said, everybody's held hostage. All right. Held hostage for what? Illegal aliens, because that's what this is about. Because there's absolutely no Americans unless you don't need Medicaid and Medicare. Unless you don't need that, there's no Americans that are getting thrown off. So when the Democrats talk about that stuff, they're absolutely lying, and it just gets on my nerves. And they're using that because they know their constituents don't know the difference. They don't know the difference. All right. So John here is absolutely 100% correct. All right. So last on this topic here, I want to get into News Nation. That picture of this guy, good Lord. I want to get into News Nation and what they have to say about this government shutdown. And if these people don't get their money, what's going to happen? All right. What's going to start happening, which is probably already happening, and the effects from the fallout of the government not opening. Here we go.
More than 40 million Americans rely on the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, kind of food stamps, to feed their families. And now the Department of Agriculture says November SNAP benefits may not be issued because of this shutdown. And several states are warning they only have a few days until money runs out for their own food programs. News Nation's Alicia Nieves is live for us in New York City with the details. Good morning, Alicia. How many states say their SNAP benefits are at risk?
How many?
Yeah, good morning, Anna. I mean, New York is one of them, but it's really only one of about a half dozen other states like Minnesota, Pennsylvania, even Texas, that are saying in a matter of days, we could see SNAP benefits be reduced or cut off for millions of people. You're talking about 2 million people right here in the Big Apple alone. In Texas, that number is even more substantial, more than 3 million people, uncertain at this hour about where their next meal is going to come from.
We will not go hungry. We will not go hungry.
We're talking about over 500,000 kids, over 500,000 older adults. These are everyday New Yorkers who desperately depend on food stamps to feed their families.
Yeah, about 12% of the country, or 42 million Americans, rely on SNAP, with the highest rate of enrollment in states like New Mexico, D.C., Louisiana, Oregon, and Oklahoma. And it's not just SNAP here. The WIC program, the nutrition program for women and children, that provides staples like milk and formula. That is also nearing another funding cliff, impacting about 7 million mothers and babies. Agriculture Secretary Rollins says the time is running out.
We're going to run out of money in 2 weeks. So you're talking about millions and millions of vulnerable families, of hungry families that are not going to have access to these programs because of this shutdown.
Yeah, Anna, and have to reinforce here, we're talking about the poorest families in this country that include elderly, children, and even veterans who are now caught in the crosshairs of this stalemate in Congress.
Yeah, look, it's disruptive. It could even be dire. Alicia, how are food pantries preparing if next month's benefits don't arrive?
Yeah, you want to talk about anxiety? Go to a food bank right now and talk to leaders there. They're really concerned. They've already seen this surge over the last couple of weeks, given the federal shutdown has impacted federal workers. They say demand is surging, and it's surging at a time where federal aid is dwindling. Now, after those cuts, you remember a few weeks ago, the Trump administration pulled back on funding for a lot of food banks. You pair that with the fact that the cost of food, that continues to rise. Many food banks are worried that they are running out of food, money, and now, of course, time.
And what's wild to me is that people aren't making a correlation with culture and how society is, right? So you have the single mother epidemic, okay, with Black and white people, okay? You have that because, you know, feminism is at an all-time high. All right. So you have that. And then you have people that just don't want to go to work. All right. And it's incentivized for them not to go to work. So you have that. Then you have the illegal aliens. Okay. You have that, which makes up a bulk of them. All right. And I do mean a lot. A lot of this stuff is because you have people on welfare that should not be on welfare. All right. And I don't even know what happened to, you know, the restrictions that were on there before. Okay. Democrats like to say, oh, well, the Republicans, you know, they want to put all these restrictions on them. I remember Bill Clinton put restrictions on it. Okay. Bill Clinton was like, hey, you can't stay on here more than 5 years. I think that's too much. But at the end of the day, that was fair. Because what are you doing after 5 years? You staying on a lifetime? Yeah, that's what's happening. All right. So you're just depleting funds into a group that might not even need it. Okay, you can see the age range. You can see that these people are able-bodied. The only people that should be receiving it is the elderly. If they don't have, the means, because they don't have any children to stay with, they don't, they don't have any, funds and things like that. And that's another reason why I hate the destruction of a family unit, right? Because at the end of the day, it was your children that would take care of you in old age. But if you're not having any children, okay, or if you don't have many children and everything falls on one child, right? Like it's just so backwards. It's absolutely so backwards. It's anti-family, it's anti-everything. And then you wonder why we have to spend so much. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. So you have that. And then you have the vets. The vets, they go and they do, all that they do to go serve this country. And then they come back. They can't get housing. They can't, they can't get food. They're on the street. They have PTSD. They can't get, mental health assistance. So now they're on the streets, running wild and doing all types of things when they should be the first to be helped. Gavin Newsom's problem is not the illegals that don't have any place to stay. It's the vets. Okay, you have veterans sitting on the streets of California. You have veterans here in DC. Okay, most of the people that were in those encampments, a lot of them were vets. They come back home, no help. I don't understand. You help somebody from Guatemala, okay? You help somebody from Mexico before you help some vets. That is absolutely asinine. Yeah. Yeah, it should be agency. It should be a time limit. Absolutely. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about, the government being shut down, these SNAP benefits running out in 2 weeks, if not less. Okay. Let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about all the entitled people who clearly you can see, okay? You can see clearly that they are able-bodied. Okay, my man up there that looks like, one of the DeBarges, he's clearly able-bodied. If you can go break into a car, that tells me you got a skill. Go get a trade. Okay, go be a locksmith or something. But it tells me you can actually do something with yourself. These people just don't want to. They're used to just getting whatever. And the Democrats, because they want the votes, okay, because they want these people to stay dependent, they allow them to do it. They allow them to sit there and just, live off everybody else. Your taxes go up. Your property taxes go up. The illegals get to come over here and get stuff. I tell everybody, just go to Mexico, lose your passport, come back, claim asylum. You get a house. You'll get, free Social Security. You'll get welfare. You'll probably get a check. You'll probably get all of that. Okay. Tell them, I speak no English. I guarantee you, you will get paid. Absolutely. Absolutely. Telling I don't have Social Security. Yep, just tell them. I guarantee you, you will get paid because these are the only people that are receiving things. The American people, they are doing absolutely nothing for. And it's wild. It's absolutely wild. You can't make it up. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you think about all of that. Okay, let me know what you think about all the complainers, all of the SNAP people. What's going on, Low Life? What's going on, Ellie? All right, so now that we got through the snappers, all right, I want to get to Stephen A. Stephen A. What can I say? Stephen A. folded. Stephen A. folded like cheap laundry. Stephen A. folded. I don't know why he folded. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. That man is liberal to the core, okay? That man doesn't know how to push back and stand on principles, okay? That's one of the things that irritates me about liberal men, okay? Instead of pushing back to women, okay, on a narrative that's actually toxic, because to say that you cannot talk about Ratchet Crockett, aka Jasmine Crockett, all because she's a Black woman is highly ridiculous. Ma'am, you're in public office. How can I talk about you? If you do something wrong, or I think you do something wrong, I get to talk about you, okay? We get to call Donald Trump Cheeto Man, Orange Man bad, I mean Hitler, all types of stuff, okay? Fascist, we get to call him all types of things. But yet, we can't tell Ratchet Crockett that she's yelling too much. We can't tell Ratchet Crockett that she's yelling for no reason because she's not even talking about anything. I told you, she just moves papers around. That's all she does. Absolutely. That's all she does. She moves papers around and she says, oh, yeah, well, this, that, and the DEI, and the this, that, and that, and the third. That's all she does. Because her district looks like trash. And then they say, well, how is she going to get anything done? By reaching across the aisle. That's how. I sent you there to work it out. I didn't send you there to say, oh, well, my party's not in, so, I can't do nothing. But her constituents believe that, and they'll probably vote her back in. I assure you they will, okay? Because for some reason, that loudmouth is a rising star. And I don't really care about her being loud. She's just loud and wrong. And not only is she loud, she cusses up a storm and it never has any substance. But Stephen A. folded. Stephen A. folded to that. And he folded because cancel culture got on him. Okay, Black women and the simps that, stroll to the polls behind Black women, the 92%, okay, not Black women in the middle or Black women on the conservative side. The 92% that voted for Kamala and them decided that they would drag Stephen A. for that. Now, again, Stephen A., I don't really support Stephen A. like that, but everybody got a chance to be right, okay? A blood clock is right twice a day. And he was right on Ratchet Crockett. And I supported that because he was right. He was absolutely 100% correct on the things that she was doing. Okay. But again, he folded. Absolutely ridiculous. I want to go ahead and get into that because, I just found this to be so stupid. All right. Here we go. This is just absolutely dumb. Absolutely. Here we go.
So now his bitch ass is experiencing and facing cancel culture because of what he said about Jasmine Crockett. I mean, these are your words. This is what you said.
Now Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself. I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
So now that you're being held to account for what you said about a sitting congresswoman, along with saying shit about the vice president and Serena Williams and all other Black women, of course, your fucking feet need to be held to the motherfucking fire because you keep running your fucking mouth and disrespecting Black women. Like, I need you, like I said, go get some pussy. Go get it. Find it somewhere. Because I think, it's internal hate. I don't know what it is. And the crazy part is you came from a Black woman. And the fact that you can just disrespect Black women just because you don't agree with them, that is so fucking chauvinistic. And it's just a bitch ass move. So I need stephenASmith, because that's your name, to take your bitch ass back to your job. Stop running your fucking mouth about Black women. And go get some pussy and live your fucking life.
And this is why the 92% have men strolling to the polls. Okay. This is why they have men strolling to the polls. All right. All of that masculine energy she just gave up is the reason why they are absolutely scared out their mind. Okay. She sounds like Stephen A. should sound. All right. Like all of that. Go get some, like, ma'am, that's why you guys are in the predicament that you're in. Talking about, my body, my choice. All you guys think about is sex. The 92% sector over there with the liberals, they're just absolutely nuts, okay? Nobody can, I told you guys a long time ago, I made a video, nobody can check the 92%, okay? Not even the 92%, because if you check the 92%, they will say, oh, you're not a girl's girl. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, okay? If you tell them something is wrong, you just hate black women. No. This has absolutely nothing to do with black women. We don't like Ratchet Crockett. Okay? We don't like her. We don't like her. And we're allowed to not like her. We pay her salary. She's federal. We pay her salary. Okay? We have a right to say whatever we want. Just like y'all talk about Orange Man Bad. Every day, all day. That's all Ratchet Crockett talks about. Okay? If it wasn't for Orange Man Bad, Ratchet Crockett wouldn't have a job. Well, she might have that job that she was a DEI hire at. But other than that job, she wouldn't be at, the federal level. Absolutely not. Okay? So now I want to get into the ignorance that is Don Lemon, Joyless Reed, and Ratchet Crockett, okay? Because when you get them together, you just have a whole bunch of losers, all right? Absolutely, all of them, okay? Bald-headed reasoning at its finest, okay? Lemon drops at its finest. Sissiness and sassiness all together, all right? I want you to hear what they all had to say about stephenASmith. Here we go.
I just want to say, can we get some of these bojankety, tap dancing, ignorant brothers out here, black men, to stop attacking black women publicly, especially when they don't know what the F they're talking about? We need to be supporting each other. And if you're going to come at somebody, come at them with some real information. Stop going around criticizing black women, because the shit just ain't right.
Everybody saw the movie Django Unchained. Remember the name of the person who cared more about the love of the slave master than he did about the love of his people or the care for his people? His name was Stephen. And Stephen was somebody who was willing to sell out his fellow African enslaved people. So what I would say to the Stephens who are in our world today, understand that the master will never love you.
There are people that have taken the time to understand that I always keep at the forefront the people that elected me to DC. What you see, if you're not in my district, may not necessarily be all of the substance that also comes with me, but there is plenty of substance. And if anybody ever wanted to ask, just like anything else, I always have receipts for the work that I have done. So I will just say that I appreciate the community and the culture, because this is something that I never even had to address or deal with, because the community decided to speak up before I even knew what was happening. So I appreciate you. It does hurt, because it's like I expect more and better. And frankly, I am always down for a real conversation. I really am. I mean, but I haven't even experienced that type of stuff coming out of even black men on the other side of the aisle in Congress. They even have enough respect to say we disagree on this policy or whatever, and we'll go back and forth. But like, they have not tried to do what somebody else tried to do. So it's all good when you know that you're walking in the purpose that God has put on your life. I'm gonna keep doing me, and
Amen.
The world will continue.
And they call me a teller. Child, you cannot make this up, okay? Joy Reid don't give a rat's you know what about anybody black, okay? She will railroad you if you let her back on MSDNC 13 right now, okay? She would railroad you. She don't care that you're black. Absolutely not. She don't care, all right? Everybody on there got fired on their day off, okay? Ratchet Crockett is coming. But everybody there got fired on their day off, all right? And they're just mad because the community that they're talking about, they don't support nothing black. What do they support black? Especially Don Lemon, okay? He don't do anything black. Okay, he don't live nowhere black. He don't associate with nothing black. He's not married to nothing black. That man barely wear a black shirt. Okay, Don Lemon is nowhere in nobody's hood. Okay, like at the end of the day, you do what you want. But let's be clear: these people right here are the boule. All right, They're the boule. They are the people that say, oh, well, I'm this, I'm that, and don't be care. They don't care. They absolutely don't care. Okay. Ratchet Crockett's district looks like trash. Okay. But, you know, Black people should expect it because that's literally what she's saying. All right. Then you got Joyless Reed, who never brings Black people the actual facts. Okay. All she does is just be Trump deranged with bald headed reasoning all the time. Okay. That's all she does. All of her reasoning is just stupid. There's nothing there. And then we all know Don Limon, he got fired. All right. And ever since then, he's been on this whole trip where I'm independent media and I'm this. Sir, you got fired and you had to crawl over to what you deem lower than you, which is YouTube. Okay. And now he sits on StreamYard like the rest of the YouTubers. And he figures that, you know, he's Don Limon. So he's better. Like these people are absolutely out of their mind. Absolutely. Okay. I don't know who they are talking to other than the 92%, but nobody takes them seriously. However, it is enough to actually go ahead and get Stephen A to fold. Okay. You had ladies like the first lady I played who absolutely went off on Stephen A, cursing him out. All right. And let's be clear, a lot of people are used to that.
So I appreciate you. It does.
Hold on, you guys. Where is that sound coming from? Hold on, you guys. Okay. I had to get that sound off. I did not know where that sound was coming from. Absolutely a mess. All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and get into Stephen A and his apology. Okay. That just started playing out of nowhere. Got a little StreamYard. All right. Stephen A decided that he would do his little apology on Straight Shooter. I want to go ahead and get into it because it was just absolutely shameful. Here we go.
It is what it is. I'm here right now. I wanted to take a moment because I saw something disturbing in regards to President Donald Trump and how he came at Representative Jasmine Crockett. And I wanted to take this opportunity to attack this issue as it pertained to me and Jasmine Crockett because I personally have had an issue with how things have been misconstrued and misinterpreted.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I have to own it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm going to do today.
Okay.
And so when somebody says to me, Stephen, rather than point to her and her verbiage and her language and how she talked about the president, what about how he talks?
What?
I have no problem with that. I can understand that. And if that is the reason that everybody is in an uproar, that is fine.
No, that is not fine, Stephen A. You can't ask a question because you did ask a question, right? You said, where is that going to get you, Ratchet Crockett? Okay. Doing all that yelling and screaming and not working across the aisle. Where does that get you? Oh, well, Stephen A, instead of asking her this and that, what about what he says? We're not talking about Donald Trump. Okay. We're not talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about her. We're talking about Ratchet Crockett. We're talking about Jasmine Crockett, the great one, right? We're talking about her. No accountability at all. Absolutely none.
I have no problem apologizing to my sister because, damn it, I want her to know I don't feel that way about her.
We do.
Just like I didn't feel that way about Kamala Harris.
I do.
Just like I don't feel that way about the marvelous, the wonderful, the incomparable, the greatest first lady ever, and Michelle Obama, in my estimation.
It's wrong.
Or anybody else. But what we're going to do on this show is understand who the hell I am.
A coward.
And how it's going to be as long as I'm doing this show. I have no problem apologizing if I'm wrong. I have no problem apologizing if I've made somebody feel a certain kind of way. But I'm going to challenge the legitimacy of what people come at me with when I think that challenge is warranted and deserved.
Okay.
If you came to me and you said to me that it came across as a bit dismissive.
Child,
Stephen,
that
you should
picture.
have been more protective of her than that, because look at how he speaks. Look at how they act on Capitol Hill towards her. I understand that. But when somebody tries to take that to accuse me of being disrespectful or in any way misogynistic, I'm going to push back on that, because that's emphatically false.
Oh, okay.
There's no truth to that whatsoever, and I'm not accepting that, and I'm not owning that.
Okay.
I can sit up there and I can look at Representative Jasmine Crockett. Do you know what I think she should be doing?
What she should do?
I think she should be competing for the Senate seat in Texas.
Absolutely not.
Or for the Attorney General spot.
Absolutely
She's
not.
qualified.
No, she's not qualified.
I personally think Kamala Harris should have ran for governor of California.
Now you glazing. Now you are putting it on thick. You are just saying absolutely anything, Stephen A. Because there is no way you think one spot run Kamala should be up here talking about being governor of anything, okay? This is the same woman that was the border czar and said she had been to the border when she had not been to the border, and she had not been to Europe either. And we should put her as governor? Okay, I'd rather have Katie. Okay, Katie, who said, get the F out my shot, that Katie, you know, the fat white woman. Yeah, I want Katie before I put Kamala in there. Okay. One nut is better than the other. Absolutely ridiculous.
I've said it for the record that if Michelle Obama was running for president, she would have beat Trump.
Oh, God, no.
In my opinion.
No, she wouldn't have.
I think she'd have done it.
She wouldn't have.
That's how I feel. But somehow, some way, it's never enough for some people out there. I understand. I would advise you to get over it or buckle up, because I'm not going away. This is my show. I will say what I feel and I will do what I want. It doesn't mean I'm going to be insensitive. It doesn't mean that I don't care about our community. A matter of fact, most of the trouble I get in is because I care about our community.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm bringing this up and the reason that I'm willing to attack this subject, because this really ain't about Jasmine Crockett. I respect her. I wish her nothing but the best. I was simply asking a question. That's all. What's working for you? Because I don't want her to lose the prowess that she has. I want it to continue to gain and elevate. We need resistance to what we see going on in the streets of America.
Oh, okay.
I asked a question. I get it now with Trump feeding into that nonsense, giving him fodder or ammunition to continue to go out there and talk about our black women that way. I got it. I don't like that.
What black women does he talk about that way? Other than Ratchet Crockett? What black women does he talk about that way? Last time I checked, he said, oh, there's beautiful black women, you know, wearing red hats in Chicago. So what black women does he talk about other than Ratchet Crockett? Please let me know. I'm dying to know. What black women does he talk about other than Ratchet Crockett? Maybe bald head Ayanna Priestley from time to time. Okay. Outside of that, who is he talking about? This how you know he's pandering, because he absolutely doesn't know anything that Donald Trump has said. Okay, he said that she has a low IQ. I'm inclined to think she does. Okay, because there's absolutely nothing of substance that she ever talks about, and that's why she just said it when she was talking to Joy Reid. Stephen A. is a panderer, okay? He strolls to the polls, all right? He's one of those men, you know, that he was raised, you know, by his mama and his sister and him. So he always knows how to pander to women. The problem is you have to be a man at some point, okay? You have to stand up to, you know, the 92% at some point. Just because your mama and them are black does not mean anything, okay? You can have, you can do two things at the same time. Walk and chew gum, okay? You can respect women. You can respect black women, but have some balls about yourself, okay? You're a man. You are an absolute man. And then you're talking about running for government? Please. We don't need more spineless men. That's how we got in this position in the first place, okay? And if we would have had Kamala, we would have had 10 walls, okay? Please.
I don't want to be associated with nothing like that. And I apologize because I respect the hell out of Jasmine Crockett and what she has accomplished. I absolutely do. And I appreciate the fact that she feels compelled to fight the way that she's fought, the way that she fights because of what she's dealing with.
What's she dealing with?
I've been a journalist for over 30 years. I don't want enemies. I truly don't.
That's
But
a
I'm
lie.
not here to make friends.
That's a lie.
I'm here to call it like I see it. It should be done respectfully. It should be done with the sensitivity that it needs to be done with. I get it. I understand. But I'm going to be me.
And you are never going to get in the White House or near the Senate or, I don't know, mayor, anything. Okay. You just ruined your chances. You know, you could have bent a little bit to the middle. Okay. I mean, Bill Maher is a lib nut, but even he has some, cojones about himself. Even he does. Because at some point, you got to stand up to this nonsense. You talk about tyranny, that is tyranny, okay? The 92% is tyranny. When you don't agree with what they want you to agree with, when you don't want to agree with, unaliving your babies, when you don't want to agree with, not being a single mom, when you don't want to agree with not, promoting family, when you don't want to sit there and tell women, go out here and have a whole phase and all this other stuff. Women can do what they want with their bodies and, healthy at any weight, lying to people when they need to get on something. I at this point, I don't even care if it's, natural or Ozempic. Like, you just don't need to be that big. Okay. And when I'm saying big, I'm not talking about 20, 55. There are women that are just 200, 300. Like, it's not healthy at any weight. And that's what they're pushing on that side. Okay. And last but not least, I don't agree with, no, me and the trans woman are not the same. They are allowed to exist and be in their space, but we are not the same. Okay. I can have respect, but we are not the same. And that's what we always got to deal with when you have the 92% and the simps that stroll to the polls behind them. And Stephen A is no different. I was trying to give him a little credence. I was trying. However, I see now. Simp. Absolutely not. So, you guys, that was Stephen A's apology. Okay. And it just goes on and on and on and on. It's a furtherance of begging. Okay. Because the 92% has, in their verbiage, dragged him for filth. Okay. Along with Don Limon's team. Okay. Dragged him. And now, this is what we get. Talking about, this is my show. Well, if it's your show, stand on it. But he's never going to stand on it because they never can, okay? When you are a man on the left, you don't have control of your cojones. So, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about Stephen A and his ranting and all of that good stuff, because it's just absolutely embarrassing to me. This is, embarrassing. You guys let me know what you think. I think it's absolutely appalling. Just my thoughts. It's appalling. So you guys let me know what you think about Stephen A. What you think about, everybody trashing Stephen A. All the 92% on the liberal side, trashing Stephen A. And even Joy Reid and all the, I guess, prominent Black women piling on. You can't make it up. It's so disappointing. I was really disappointed, you guys. I was really disappointed. Absolutely disappointing. But we shall move on. I try to have hope in people. I really do. I try to have hope. I try to think that, people are going to do the right thing. Okay. But I should have known a simp will be a simp. Holy moly. But yeah. So you guys get down and let me know what you think about all of that. Let's see here. Chris Monroe, STL, with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Excellent show, Mika. Just showing love and support. Keep your foot on their necks. I shall. Because we can't have too many of those Stephen A's out here. Okay. Y'all gotta hold your own. Y'all gotta hold frame. Y'all gotta do something. Whatever y'all gotta do it. All right. Thank you for the super chat. All right. So I'm gonna get in this last. I'm gonna get in this last one here. Okay. I want to get into ICE really, really quick. And the reason why I want to get into this ICE fiasco is because all of this stuff with this young black man is getting on my last nerve. Okay. Now, there's this young black man that, Joy Reid, and all her bald-headed reasoning, and, our favorite Roland, okay, Roland Martin, also another, person here on the Red Cup that we like to talk about because he's absolutely ridiculous, okay? He never knows which way to turn his neck, all right? He always, let me stop. Anywho, there is a young man that decided to post on TikTok about ICE, okay? Now, young people, they make jokes and don't realize, what they're doing, but they gonna F around and find out. And he absolutely did. But it was the left jumping on this as if, oh, the Trump administration is racist. They're so racist. Listen to what they're saying and posting about this young man, right? I want you guys to see this nonsense, all right? Because Roland here, okay, without turning his neck, decided to come on his platform and speak about Homeland Security, okay, and Chrissy Noel, and what they were doing to Black youth with this TikTok post. And then we'll debunk it. Here we go.
Department of Homeland Security. So over the weekend, they posted a tweet, and this is literally what they posted. Okay, this is
Look, you on turns
right
neck.
here. Okay, all right, that's the tweet. Now I want y'all to play the video that they actually posted. You have that? Let's play the video.
Play video.
Blessed that these hoes on my dick cause I'm fly like a jet. They gon' be surprised when they see I made this beat, baby Chief and Kanye West. As long as the hoe outside with the zoo shit never see home. 26.
Now that was the video. The video claimed. So again, DHS talking about they are threatening law enforcement. Here's the problem. That was an altered video.
Was it now?
This is actually the original video that was posted on TikTok.
Show us.
The original was talking about Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Now, somebody posted this next tweet. Somebody posted the comparison. Look at how doctored the video is. They actually removed some people from the video.
They did now.
They removed folks from the original video, and in the original, and in the altered one, they actually posted it. Now, what makes matters worse is these DHS idiots actually doubled down on their post.
Yes, they did.
They doubled down, didn't apologize.
Nope.
Didn't say, hey, we screwed up. No, these dumbasses doubled down.
Sure
now,
did.
The young brother who was in the center of the original video, he responded on TikTok. Y'all roll his response.
Roll his response.
So I'm getting these mad messages from my DMs and social media and on my comments. And I randomly get a text message talking about a recent video that was posted in my account. I was like, what are y'all talking about? By the way, I'm sick, so if I sound bad, I get threats daily on IG and everywhere all over my social media all of a sudden due to an old video I posted months ago about Iran.
Get the belt.
Iran, that was not to be a threat. It was literally a joke, bro. Like, seriously, it's just content. Anyways, once I seen that video that was posted on my account, then I was like, what the fuck? Well, didn't I post this like months ago? Then I seen the caption, and then I was like, wait, I didn't do that.
Oh, you didn't?
Still got the video saved on my draft from months ago on TikTok, bro. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Here's the fucked up part. The federal government is involved with something that I didn't do.
Boy, get the strap, okay? Get the strap. Because this little boy right here is lying. I don't know how old he is. He looks anywhere between 16 to 19, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, he's lying through his teeth. Absolutely lying, okay? But, you know, what is a black youth to do? And what good does it serve, you know, DHS, if there is no outrage, okay? Bald-headed reasoning at its finest.
Hey fam, so the Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem's outfit, is now weaponizing social media against the American people and putting Americans' lives at risk. The Department of Homeland Security ex-Twitter account posted this video purporting to show a group of young black men threatening ICE agents, saying there's a $50,000 bounty on your heads, and you know, we're coming for you. And then they make a threat back and say that if you threaten ICE agents, we're coming to get you.
Yeah.
Well, turns out the video is an AI fake. And a student user on ex-Twitter noticed that the Homeland Security video, which is a TikTok video, they've actually changed the caption on the video.
So a student user noticed this, okay? The student is on the case. The student has cracked the code, okay? They know what's going on, all right? Now, everybody knows that if you put something on the internet, it's forever, okay? I don't care what they tell you. The government has it, all right? Barack Obama made sure of that. It's called the NDAA, okay? Anything you put on the internet, they saw it. They got it, all right? Cool. Now, what is outrage without white liberals? Okay, you gotta have a white liberal. If a white liberal doesn't come to your defense, you don't have no real outrage.
All right, guys, we got to talk about this. So you know how we basically have a bunch of young Groyper idiots who are staffing the Republican politicians' campaigns and their cabinets and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, now that's all coming to a head because, you know, you're seeing them tweet casual Nazi memes, you know, subtle hidden Heil Hitler stuff.
Yeah.
Remigrate, which is just a euphemism for ethnic cleansing. Now you have the Department of Homeland Security is trying to start a race war based on fake news and lies. Here's one example right here. So Homeland Security tweets the following. If you threaten or lay hands on our law enforcement officers, we will hunt you down and you will find out really quick. We'll see you cowards soon. So they tweet this video. We're going to take a look at this video. Ready? So it's a 10-second video. I'm going to mute it because it's copyright music that's playing. But it says on the screen here, ICE, we're on the way. Word in the streets, cartels put a $50K bounty on y'all. And so it's a group of black kids, black teenagers.
Yeah.
And, you know, this one's trying to make like a scary looking face or whatever. And cover, you know, putting the mask over his mouth.
Yeah.
But the idea is, it looks like they're sort of threatening ICE. They're threatening ICE and saying, we're working with the cartels or whatever to make $50,000 by killing you. So look at this. Ready?
Right.
Now, again, look at how young these black kids are. I'm actually not even sure. Some of them might not even be teens.
Really?
Right? Like, they might be teens, but some of them look like they might even be younger.
Really?
This could be like a 12-year-old, right? But Homeland Security tweets this out. Okay, ready for the reality?
Yes, tell us.
Here is the original video that they fucking changed the text on.
Oh, really?
So this was tweeted in the wake of Trump attacking Iran. This was tweeted.
What was tweeted?
This video with the text, "You seen what we can do. Don't say something that you can't finish, Iran. We are already united. We all stand. We want all the smoke." So here we go.
We want all the smoke.
So this was a video, like a bunch of... Kid's got fucking braces. Again, he's like 12 years old. This is a video of... If anything, it's sort of like, I mean, I don't think these people are outright political, but it's sort of like a subtle pro-Trump thing, if anything.
Pro-Trump.
They're basically like joking and threatening Iran here and pretending like, yeah, You want to fuck with us? Like, we'll fuck you up. We're America. So if anything, it's like a tacit agreement with Trump illegally bombing Iran.
White liberals will make up anything. I swear to goodness. White liberals will make up anything. They are saying that this young man, okay, is in line with Trump. I'm going to let him finish his last point, and then I'm going to make my last point here. Here we go.
And Department of Homeland Security just lied and now put a fucking target on this kid's back by pretending he's threatening ICE agents.
Oh.
This is so fucking irresponsible, but they don't care. They're trying to spark a fucking race war, is what they're trying to do.
Okay.
Trying to get a black teen, if that, maybe a black 12-year-old killed. All right, ready?
That's
so
right.
Here's the kid. The young man responds.
So I'm getting these mad messages from my DMs and social media and on my comments. And I randomly get a text message talking about a recent video that was posted in my account. I was like, what are y'all talking about? By the way, I'm sick, so if I sound weird, yeah. I get threats daily on IG and everywhere all over my social media all of a sudden due to an old video I posted months ago about Iran. Iran, that was not to be a threat. It was literally a joke, bro. Like, seriously, it's just content. Anyways, once I seen that video that was posted in my account, then I was like, what the fuck? Well, didn't I post this like months ago? Then I seen the caption, and then I was like, wait, I didn't do that. I still got the video saved on my draft from months ago on TikTok, bro. I'm gonna pull it up right here. Now, here's the fucked up part. The federal government is involved for something that I didn't do. Like, what? So this is what they reposted off my TikTok. That video got taken down. So here's what they reposted on their page.
Absolutely not.
Now that video is going
Absolutely
crazy.
not. White liberals are falling for it too. Okay. So this is the point. Black liberals, white liberals, all of them are falling for it. All right. This is what they all fall for. Now, let's get into it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of all of this. All right. So as you see, this is the original post. All right. This is the original post. Okay. That's Homeland Security. That's the original post. Now, Homeland Security literally, was just like, oh, okay, cool. Y'all want to do this. This is what we'll do. All right. The problem with all of that is other people started to post it. All right. That's when you seen this video here. Okay. Now, if you guys don't know who this is the American, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit, because I want you guys to be able to see this. All right. So this is the American Freemen Legal Fund. This is the same group, okay, that decided that they were going to have a legal fund for Carmelo Anthony, okay? The team down in, I think it's Texas, that had the issue with the other white team, okay? So they are like, FBA, something like that, right? So they got involved and they said, oh, this young man's video was manipulated and all this other stuff, right? And they jumped on his side. They posted his video, all types of stuff, right? Cool. All right. However, not even 24 hours later, after they analyzed everything, here we go. After a closer review of the overlay and watermark alignment, we've confirmed that the TikTok video in question is authentic and belongs to his account. Florida, whatever that is. Okay. And there's the account. Okay. And then the watermark sits above the caption text, confirming that the post originated directly from TikTok and was not externally altered. Transparency and accuracy always comes first. What is that telling you? That is telling you that they recognize that, you effed up, right? You messed up. Okay. Now, that video I showed you from Roland was today. He posted that today. They could have just did this research. They could have did the same research that everybody else did. They didn't do it. So that little boy was absolutely lying. All right. And for the fact that Roland Martin thought that the government can't just go into these servers and just see what you posted is absolutely stupid. Absolutely dumb. Absolutely. So at the end of the day, this is F around and find out at its finest. F around and found out. Okay? That's exactly what happened. He effed around and found out the hard way that, yeah, you want to do all of this? Yeah, we got something for that. Okay? We got something for it. All of them, Roland Martin, okay? Joy Reid, all of them. Nobody did their research. They all, oh, the government is racist, this, that, and the third. But even they could go on and look and see that the government was 100% correct. Race baiting at its finest, just all the wrong things because they're too busy jumping on the fact that this kid is black instead of jumping on the fact that this kid should have been disciplined for the fact that he thinks it's funny to threaten federal officers. Okay? Somebody ought to get the belt. Somebody ought to be snatching this little boy up and telling him, hey, you about to get yourself in a world of trouble out here playing. And then even if he wasn't playing with ICE, the fact that you think you could play with Iran is just, I don't know. Okay? Somebody ought to tell these little boys it's not a game, it's not a joke. But I digress. That is what he found out. Now, last but not least, I want to get into the situation on Canal Street, okay? Because this situation right here is just absolutely ridiculous. I want you guys to see this. This is what happens on Canal Street. Hmm. You guys can't hear it? Oh, man. Hold on. Hold on. Poor internet. Okay, here we go. Let's try it again. Hustle man.
Driving down the street, I was Ubering, and I saw this huge market of African migrants selling all of these bags along this sidewalk. The sidewalk was actually completely full of people, so I was like, okay, pull over, let me see what's going on. Now, I'm walking along this street, and the entire sidewalk was completely packed with people buying these Louis Vuitton bags, buying these YSL bags. Obviously, all of them are knockoffs. Now, I spoke to some of the migrants. They were telling me they're all from Senegal. And as I'm walking around, they all start grabbing their bags very quickly. Again, this entire block was filled with all of these bags, and they picked them all up very quickly. Within 2 minutes, they all started jumping in vehicles, running away. I was speaking to one of the migrants, and he ended up telling me that they don't have the license to sell these purses. It's illegal, and if the cops catch them, they will come and take away all of their products. Another thing that I noticed too, because I was filming, is these migrants, very similar to Paris, telling me that I can't film here.
Hey, you do the film here.
And that I wasn't allowed to be, using my camera.
Yeah. So everybody knows for ages, okay? Because I went to school up there. Everybody knows that on Canal Street is where all the bootleg stuff is, okay? That it's been happening. I don't know why the DEMS in New York allow it to happen, but it's been happening, but it's much worse now, okay? And that's where all of the bootleg stuff is, all right? But with the migrant crisis going on, okay, the illegal migrant crisis, okay, the illegal aliens that are over here, they know that they're illegal and they don't care, okay? They know that they're here doing nefarious things and they don't care, all right? Here is someone just, recording. Look what's happening to them.
How much?
Yo, what's up? We don't do no fucking camera. Fuck the fucking camera.
Hey.
Keep fucking pushing.
Hey,
You heard?
hey,
Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Hey,
Fuck
back
you
up,
with your
back
fucking
off,
camera.
back off.
I said, fuck you with your camera. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Who the fuck you work for? Bitch ass nigga. Who the fuck you work for? Bitch, who you work for? Fuck you, nigga.
You're in public.
Get the fuck out of here. Yo, listen, you gonna get the fuck out of here.
Hey. Back up.
Get out of here with that shit. You gonna get fucked up. I'm telling you,
Wait,
cuz.
back up,
You gonna
back
get
up.
fucking fucked up over here.
Back
Get
up,
the fuck
back
out
up.
of here.
Then they shouldn't be doing stuff illegally.
Hey, that's not your fucking business what you do, nigga.
Hey.
Hey.
I
will smash this bitch.
Hey.
And you won't fucking lost it.
Now, you see this? They're allowed to do this. They're being allowed to do this. Okay. They're outside regular store vendors, okay, who have stores, and people can't get to the stores because these people are all over the street. All right. And they take away business sometimes. They absolutely do. Call the police. You can't call the police. You cannot call the police. The police not going to do anything. Okay. If the police come. So that's the dilemma. Okay. And that's what other people are dealing with when you got these migrants. Okay. These illegal migrants. And so that is what this is all about. Okay. That's why ICE was down at Canal Street. Okay. They got tipped off. Okay. I don't know who don't know about Canal Street, but nevertheless, they got tipped off and decided to pull up. And that's exactly what they did. Here we go.
The latest now on that chaotic scene that played out on Canal Street in Manhattan when ICE agents suddenly moved in for a raid targeting street vendors. The scene quickly turned violent. Lots of pushing and shoving that eventually led to protest. Eyewitness News reporter Joe Torres live in Chinatown where it all went down. Joe?
Sandra, the hub of illegal commerce that normally fills the sidewalks here on Canal Street, currently on hiatus after that confrontational crackdown by federal agents yesterday here in Chinatown. In fact, just a few minutes ago, the acting ICE director, during an interview on television, said agents made 9 arrests of what he calls criminal aliens with long rap sheets.
Sounds good.
On Canal Street this Wednesday morning, an unusual sense of peace and tranquility. Empty sidewalks, free of the illegal street vendors hawking designer label purses and luxury watches. And if that was the mission of federal agents Tuesday afternoon, to clear the scene of vendors who often hail from West Africa, mission accomplished. These siblings are from Texas, and it's not their first visit to Chinatown.
I was like, whoa. Yeah. You usually see them all packed full everywhere on the streets, but today it was like pretty quiet.
There's not really much people out here no more, as in like the sellers and everything. Yeah.
Pretty quiet.
It is.
It was a chaotic scene in Chinatown yesterday when a swarm of masked immigration officers, ATF and Homeland Security agents and other federal law enforcement all pushed, pulled, and detained the vendors who are a fixture on the sidewalks of Canal Street. The show of force quickly generated a rather vocal response from ICE protesters, who immediately started recording video and taking pictures of agents at work. Pushing and shoving soon followed. In a statement, a Homeland Security spokesperson said the agents conducted a targeted, intelligence-driven enforcement operation on Canal Street in New York City, focused on criminal activity relating to selling counterfeit goods. Jason Jackson, an elevator repairman who works in the area, said he wouldn't be surprised if social media videos taken by ICE supporters led federal agents to target this part of Manhattan.
I definitely think that's how it went.
Why so?
Because this has been going on for a long time now, and just out of nowhere, they want to crack down on it.
It's definitely intelligence-driven. It's not random. We're just not pulling people off the street. There was a specific reason based on criminal intelligence and criminal activity that we showed up on Canal Street.
That's right. That's right. Because Canal Street is where all of the illegals and all of the counterfeit stuff be. Okay. Now, hey, if you want to do counterfeit, whatever, okay, that's your business. However, you cannot do it on the streets, and you cannot be illegally here. Okay. What you want to be a criminal, go right ahead. But we know ICE is gonna clean it up. Okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. And that street has never looked like that. I've never seen that street look like that. I've never seen Canal Street. You can just walk through it with a breeze. Like I've never seen a tumbleweed ever roll down Canal Street. Okay. And that is clean. And that's saying a lot for New York. Okay. That is clean. That's absolutely lovely. So yes, ICE is doing a wonderful job. Okay. I will wear this hat every time ICE is a topic. Okay. Because they're doing a wonderful job. Trump was right about everything. Okay. ICE is ICE is doing a wonderful job. Because why should we as taxpayers be subject to this? Okay. Even the liberals have to say, wow, I've never seen it look like this. Okay. So at the end of the day, go ICE. Go ICE. All right. And I wanted to give that context before I just talked about, what happened, because I wanted to show you what actually is there, what actually goes on. Right. Because a lot of the times you guys just see these news broadcasts, but you don't actually see what's happening on the ground. Right. The same difference in Chicago. All that nonsense happened. That's why I brought on Chicago Flips Red, because they know what's happening on the ground, not just that nonsense that Mayor Mohawk talks about or PB&J Pittsburgh. Okay. People on the ground. So good job, ICE. Good job. Good job as always, Trump. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I absolutely love it. Everybody go F around and find out. The TikToker, the young man, he F around and found out about ICE when you want to play with Homeland Security, and the illegal immigrants on Canal Street. So you guys get down in the comments and let me know what you guys think about that. All right. What you guys think about Roland and his crew, and bald-headed Joy Reid, and what she had to say about the topic of the young TikToker who just happens to be a young Black man that decided to F around and find out about the Department of Homeland Security. All right. After lying about it, I hope he learns a valuable lesson. I hope that he has some type of little punishment if he's, underage young man. He needs some community service. He needs to be taken off social media for a little while. All right. Because he's doing too much. He's absolutely doing too much. Somebody needs to grab that young man before he gets himself in real trouble. All right. And let me know what you think about all of this down on Canal Street in NYC. All right. Let me go ahead and read these last super chats here. Jay the Legend with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. How Stephen A. folding like bad poker hands? Stephen A. folded. Man, Stephen A. folded so fast. Folded faster than illegal immigrants in a laundromat child. Just folding. It's so sad. Thank you for the super chat. $5 super chat from Jay. This is the liberal outrage is, this liberal outrage is worse than Stephen A. folding like bad poker. You're not going to let that Stephen A. But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. The fake liberal outrage that, Roland, Angela Rye, Joyless Reed, who else? Cloudy Holston, Whoopi. Who else we got that are just deranged? Who else? Rick Maddow. Okay. He over there still on MSNBC. Rachel Maddow. No, I said it right, Rick. Yeah, all of these people, they're just deranged. Absolutely. Okay, they're all deranged. And thank you for the super chat, Jay. They're all deranged. And they all are, people in society that we just don't care about. Because they don't want to tell the truth. They don't want to tell their constituents the truth, like Jasmine Crockett. And, the ones that are supposed to be, reporting the news that call themselves, these great journalists, they don't want to do the right thing either. They don't want to do it. Okay. They can't tell you what a woman is. They can't tell you, that a man is supposed to lead. They can't tell you that because it's sexist. They can't tell you anything. So how and why would I vote for you? Yeah. Oh, yep. Donna. That's right. Respucia. Respucia James. Okay. She's out here. Yep. Well, not for long. Yeah, Chris. That's Rick Maddow. Okay. Yeah. That's how they all are. They're just deranged. And if they actually wanted to do, things for the community, if Karen Bass out there in LA wanted to do what she was supposed to be doing for LA would not have the issues that it has. Neither if Gavin Newsom, was doing what he was supposed to be doing. That's right, Chris. Kamala and all that damn cackling she does. Same difference. They're all the same. Tim Walz giving driver's license for everybody, including illegals, because they don't ask about your immigration status. It's just, they're wild, okay? They're absolutely wild. But when you have people like Stephen A., who decides to bend a knee, who decides to fold, all because of some pressure and some pushback. Because I could tell you, I get pushback all the time. I get called all types of names. I get called all types of things. Oh, why do you have a red hat on? You're a person of color. Aren't you Hispanic? Aren't you black? Aren't you this? Aren't you mixed? Don't you identify with Obama? Like all types of stuff. They ask me. Okay. Isn't your mom and part Native? Like, don't you care about that this is stolen land? They ask me all of these crazy, nonsensical things. It has nothing to do with nothing. This is America. We have rule of law. Okay? Is it perfect? Absolutely not. I have a lot of gripes with the system, with a lot of things that go on. But it's America. I'm American. And it is literally the best country. Literally. That's why they're all jumping the border to get here. Okay? Coming near and far to get here. And that's because this country is great. People can come, but you got to come the right way. I don't know why that's considered evil. I don't know why it's considered a hard thing to follow. People do it all the time. They come here legally. I'm not understanding. And the people that are supposed to represent us, they're fighting for them, and they're not representing us. People like Ratchet Crockett. Ratchet Crockett does not fight for the people down there in Dallas. They live in squander while she's raising money for illegals. Makes no sense. I don't know why they keep voting for her. But at the end of the day, I will continue to report on it and continue to talk about it because these people are absolutely nuts. And we over here will not be folding like stephenASmith. We over here do not bend to the will of the 92% and the simps that strode to the poll with them. So you guys, thank you for pulling up. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to everybody in the chat that stayed engaged. Thank you so much. The Genuous CEO, Donna, loud and clear. George, Agency, I Am Ruckus. Frankie, Ian, Matthew, Chris Monroe, Sugar Shane, Frankie, True Patriot, Sydney Smith. Who else? Rob Maddock. Okay. Thank you all. Minister Syracuse, Orange Gray, Melinda. Thank you so much. Got Flavor. Who else we got in the building? Taekwon Wilson. Thank you so much. Matthew. Thank you so much. Don, I think I said your name, but always cool. Shadow Dragon. Thank you so much. Woo. Scrap, Skrilla, the Rilla. I think I said it right. Thank you. Zach. Thank you so much for pulling up. Who else we got in the building? Let's see. Nick J. Thank you so much. Jay, the legend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Loso Way. Thank you. Who else we got in the building? Agency Q. The Terrible People Podcast. Thank you so much. Your car. Thank you as always. I Dizzy. Thank you. I appreciate you for pulling up. Dion, thank you so much for pulling up. Who else can I see? The ENT shop, thank you so much for pulling up. Alicia, thank you so much for pulling up. Bad Hombre. That's a good name. Bad Hombre, thank you so much for pulling up. DR Ross, thank you so much for pulling up. Quick Fix, and everybody else who pulled up, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. I I am out. Look, you guys, I am looking at all of this stuff, and I'm just probably going to just start just going live. So if you see notifications or if you see a thumbnail, you know, and I just, pop up live, just jump on. And if you see my videos, go ahead and click like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Send them out to your friends. Thank you so much for supporting me. And thank you so much, Mac 007. I think that's what that says. Mac 007. I think that's what it says. Thank you guys. As always, it's your girl Mika, and I'm out. Peace.